It is a fabulous Friday here in Southern California for round 2 of the JM Eagle LA Championship, presented by Plastpro. Is out on the golf course. Take a look at the leaderboard, and the LPGA's all-time 72-hole scoring record holder, Se-Young Kim. Maybe she's on her way to another record-setting week. A pair of 65s. She's in at 14 under. Ingeechun went one better today to get to 12 under. Anna Nordqvist, the Solheim Cup captain for Europe, Mel's boss in the Netherlands this fall. Mel, she still wants to play some good golf here.
And she is playing some nice golf. Very nice to see the vet playing well.
Here this week, including California's own asterixtalley. You were there on the call at Augusta National Women's Amateur when she had a great chance to win. She, like so many of the great men who've played at the Masters, struggled at the 12th. But here she is, and she's inside the cut line at the moment.
Inside, it was hard to go through something like that, but she's just a tremendous competitor and just kind of lets things roll off of her shoulders. Wish I could be more like that.
Well, lottiewoad certainly did that last year. Here she is at the 8th.
Something, but there's nothing to find. This is a wedge for Hannah. Empty your wide, even though this is just such a short shot for these players.
Might try and come back a little bit for Brooke.
Chizzyiwai. And here she is at the 6th. Even par for the day.
Well, sometimes we talk about it's hard to follow up really low rounds like she had yesterday, but
had a great chance to win here last year. Miyuyamashita at the 9th.
And she's going with one more. This is just a little 9.
Playing with Rosezhang, a couple of Augusta National Women's Amateur champs. We're at 13 now, the par 4. Here's pattytavatanakit.
I mean, with how far she drives it, you can see there, she got it on the flat.
Irvine, I should say. Rosezhang for birdie.
yeah, this group is only playing as a 2-ball today as Hyoju Kim withdrew. Fortunately, quite a few withdrawals today in the field for various different reasons.
They can hold up. So while she waits, Hannah-Green's going to go ahead here.
And this putt's going to be uphill to start. Moving right.
And over at the 6th, Chizzyiwai to get it to 10 under.
We saw how delicate this putt was. Breaking to the right.
Brooke's putt is also just a hint uphill as it approaches the hole, but the hole is tilted to the right, so expect this one to move also to the right.
It's not quite in yet. Pattytavatanakit at 13 for birdie.
She'll be back down the hill, moving a little bit to her right.
And back we go to the 9th. Missy Jones of the LPGA rules official, giving me some relief, it looks like, here, Karen.
She is. So you get nearest point of relief, which was pretty much directly behind where her ball had finished, and then you get a club length from there. And she's getting relief from the seam, not the actual fresh grass, because she's dropping it onto that fresh grass now.
Can't be closer to the hole, so maybe placing it at the place it dropped.
And I think this is a smart play, asking for a ruling. A lot of players would have just carried on and gone on with it, but As you know, Karen, being out there, like, the rough around these greens, they don't look like much, but you can get some really dodgy lies. And if you get any sort of grass in between the club head and the ball, it can severely affect how the spin comes out. It can release it, it can check it up. And so the more chance that you have to get a better lie, the more predictable it's going to come out.
This is, 50% easier because of the drop. Again, smart move, as you're saying. You just have to be aware of the rules and how they can help you. And this is pretty sporty. Fun personality too, quite dry sense of humour.
How about this second for Miyu?
Well, she's in the bunker. This is a long way back for her. And she's going from trouble to trouble. She's still got a really long third shot. I think she was just trying for a lot there.
And that's the difference in maybe, what, a 10-footer for birdie instead of a tough 2-putt. Here's Hannah.
And this is a 9-iron for Hannah, trying to get this one to fade towards that hole. She didn't catch that very well.
This is the par 5 7th and chizzyiwai.
To 2-putt.
All right, Mel, tell us how to hit this one. Chizzy.
You just close your eyes, Grant, and hope for the best.
That's what I do anyway on a normal one.
On the rough, just judged the release pretty well, just to get it onto the top level here. People milling around. She just goes through the ball so well. Holding that follow through.
Saucy, wasn't it?
It was a bit nice, wasn't it?
Par 5 7th. This is the second-year LPGA player, Jessicaporvasnik. Right here last year. Was tied for the lead going to the 72nd hole, dropped a shot, and Ingrid Lindland won it. She's playing well again, 6 under.
Yeah, she's trying to catch her sister, isn't she?
And back to the 11th and Brooke Henderson.
And this is a little bit more awkward because she is on the far left side, so a little bit of the bunker to deal with if she wants to use that backstop. Oh, she's done that, and it's going to take the backstop. Put more straight onto this whole location so she can use more of that slope. And that was higher up and should get pretty close. Oh, if it stops. No, it needs to stop. It's got to stop.
I need to hit Brooke's ball.
It's not going to.
Yeah, that's the only problem. That slope behind it is so severe. You got any kind of side spin on it, it's just going to accelerate the ball. And it sounds silly, but it's so easy to do that. It's so easy to do.
How hard is this one, Karen?
Well, it's in your head now, isn't it? So you try and land it, hit this one as a low checker, which she's trying. Oh, did that clip the flag? I had a caddy standing in my way, but that's going to work out just fine.
Miyu. Chizzyiwai at the 8th.
There's not much uphill or downhill in this putt, but I still have to think there's a little bit of break in it to the left from that slope behind it.
Miyu at 11.
I said this is right in her wheelhouse. Yep, no problem at all. I don't know about you, Mel, but no one came and stood behind me and wanted my swing to rub off on them.
No one wanted my chipping technique, I can tell you that much.
The famous one I remember was Annika Sorenstam.
Here is Jessicaporvasnik at the 7th. All right, so Jessica said that she's figuring this whole thing out. Life on the LPGA in her 2nd year and playing great. Tied for 4th. Chizzyiwai at the 9th. It's been a popular spot.
One of my favorite yardages was about 60 yards, so the closer I could get it, 50, 60 yards, I like that shot.
Moment ago, megankhang for birdie at the 12th. Okay, that gets her to 5 under par. She's in that.
A lot of players, when this loses a bit of speed towards the end, will drift to the right, and loads of players are under-reading this. Or over-reading it, I should say.
Well, she's almost on a bit of a downslope on the back edge of this bunker, which makes this more difficult because the green is so elevated above her.
That'll be for par for Hannah. With the 3-time major champ Ingeechun looking on, here is her countrywoman from Korea, Jinheeim, doing what Jinhee does. That's make putts. In fact, she and Akieiwai played on the JLPGA last week, so no rest for the weary. Miyu, birdie putt.
Looks like it might go to the right as well, but so much of this is about the speed because of that downhill. See the ball where it enters the hole and work backwards from there.
She knew straight away, didn't she? Did not keep that anywhere near high enough. Disappointing from the middle of the fairway for Greenie.
When you have a lot of green to cover, it makes it very difficult.
Jinheeim looking for another birdie. And up she goes.
Now just notice how big her practice swings are. They're tiny, and that's because this is so fast. Not quite the roller coaster effect on Brooke's putt. In fact, this one's going to be a little uphill.
Hannah trying to bounce back here.
And this is easier than some of her other putts she's had to face. Oh,
And now Chizzyiwai for birdie at 11.
In an ideal world on a tough flag like this, you'd like this to be into the wind. But downwind just makes it stopping anywhere near it really hard.
Over that bunker where the players are looking, it is downhill, so it kicks it forward. And that's exactly what we're seeing.
And she has a 9-iron out. She does have the ability to hit it high enough, and she gave this one a little bit of extra pep through impact. Try and get more spin on it.
It's putter for hannahgreen, Karen, at the 15th.
It is. It's up a steep slope. Oh, this is so well judged.
Just a thing of beauty with that second, using the slopes, and this for birdie.
I feel like this one has to go in. For that missed shorter putt on the previous hole, and again.
All right, back not far from home is our colleague from a couple of weeks ago on our broadcast from Vegas, Alisonlee. She's playing well.
And a tough fairway to hit today. Just over half the field finding this fairway in regulation.
Well, that was a timely comment, because this one's down the right.
In total driving.
And she said it took her a little while to find that new match.
Hannah-green's not bad either.
No, this one's pretty good. A little bit of a fade down that right side, though.
But what success they had, and as she said, wonderful memories.
Able to go with that flow and win a couple of times. Here's pattytavatanakit for birdie at 1. Just touches it. Okay, yeah, that was worth the wait. 13, Chizzy, second.
Way back there on that flat, significantly longer.
On the front 9, a little quieter, with a couple of birdies on the back. Jinheeim has made a couple of birdies here. Of late, this for another.
3rd and 4 holes. Wonderful stretch of golf.
She has 195 to that front. 225 to the hole.
Bunker's not a bad place to be.
Well, I mean, anytime you're down this right side, it really narrows that angle even more. So if this is going to go deeper, I expect this to go more towards that right bunker as well. But she's hit this one really well. That was an impressive shot.
We said it. You talked to Karen. Good things happen. Eagle putt coming up for Hannah-green.
This one's at the flag with a little draw.
That's going to roll away toward where Hannah is. Let's see if Jinheeim can keep it going. Tied for 6th. Hoping it would.
Well, that's one way to get it close. It is, and I think that is the only way you can get it close, is to kind of hit it into the fringe. And
Let's see if Chasey can get the lid off here. Mel at 13. Incredible run yesterday. This is a par putt for Porvasnik at 12.
She's had a clean card so far, 2nd in the field in putting.
And Yamashita's already played out of the bunker, and she's probably got about a 8-footer downhill coming up for her birdie.
She needs at least a birdie.
A lot of power. That is way down there.
What, if anything, could Hannah have learned from Brooke?
Oh, it definitely helps to have seen somebody go before you. Break that down and work on quality of strike, you know. Maybe do a few gate drills, something like that, just to make sure that you're striking it consistently out of the middle of the club. That looked to be a much more simple putting stroke and gave it a good roll.
We'll check in on those birdie putts in a moment. First to the 15th, and another birdie roll here for Jinheeim. And now, the birdie putt for miyuyamashita.
Downhill, moving right. Nobody's favourite putt here.
Karen, these are the ones that I would go to the putting green and practice for 5 or 6 feet. And if I knew I was starting them on my line, I felt comfortable with it. Look at this go. My goodness. It's the hardest hole on the golf course today. Playing more than a half stroke over par.
I made half a foot shorter, but it's not by much. You have to really tell yourself that I've seen the line of it going past.
Okay, here's Hannah for a 2-putt birdie, and this to get it to 7 under.
And even though this one's a little uphill, I still think this might have just a little bit of right movement to it, so...
Yeah. On the tee at 17, Hannah Green.
And this is an 8-iron for Hannah. Helping wind. Looks like a good strike, looks like a good line as well.
And it's a pretty good result as well. That should feed back a little bit from that back.
I'm glad Chizzy played beautifully yesterday and playing well again. Miyu at 17.
Trying to draw an 8-iron in there and get it to release, and she's doing just that.
Just popped over that ridge, didn't it?
It'll land somewhere in between where the 2 players in front of her have just landed. But she is getting a little bit of wind behind right now. And she got a big gust on that.
She's asking for it to sit.
Yeah, she got a huge gust.
Boy, how about this one?
She's got a little feast or famine with her putter today. That was a good roll. That was not an easy putt. Barely got that started.
Starred collegiately at UCLA. Chizzyiwai, she tied for 11th here last year when sister Akieiwai was 2nd. Now she's tied for 2nd. Not far away at University of Southern California, and she is having a nice week.
Tough to judge the break and the speed.
It's actually sitting quite up in a spin bit of grass, but allowing her to just dump it onto the green. In terms of uphill or downhill, there is just a slight little dip in the green that starts at about 5 feet from her ball, and then, I mean, well, look how comfortable she is over this putt.
Yeah, she is. Beautiful action through it. Nice release.
Birdie putt for Hannah Green at 17.
There's just a hint of downhill from the back of this green towards that hole.
All right, as her older sister by 1 minute, Akieiwai, and that group finishes up.
Doesn't rely too much on a caddy. He's got a ton of experience. He knows exactly what he's doing, but he's like, it's really nice that she does take ownership, and he has obviously complete trust in her. Brings him in only occasionally, and it's actually really refreshing to hear that from a caddy talk about a player in that way.
And Aaron Landry, they'd go back and forth, and they both played great, whoever was on the bag. Now Hannah at 18.
Downwind, hitting downhill to a downhill fairway. This is so inviting. And that one started right, but has draw. It's going to work out. In fact, I'm not sure you could get any more centre of the fairway than that one.
All right. A birdie would lock up a spot on the weekend.
So she knows that a birdie's going to make her feel a lot more comfortable. I mean, you guys are watching the computer. Is there any chance it's one?
Oh, yeah, it's just moved to 1.
Okay, it's in the bunker.
Yeah.
What could happen for somebody like Jessica come the weekend?
18, Miyu.
And that's a wedge. Looking for a hop. Oh, that's well thought out.
First, Brooke at 18.
137 is the number. Lip is not an issue, and the angle is nice too.
Wonderful shot in the moment. It's not that scary, but it's also not that easy. She did a good job keeping her lower body very still.
Now Hannah.
Exactly the same yardage. Hannah gets a little bit more height on hers. pretty good here.
Jinheeim. This is at the par 5 16th. And at the 8th, minamikatsu.
Interesting thing here, Karen, is you know, you feel like you might have to make it, but you also don't want to force it too hard, because there is still a chance that one could be okay.
To the par 3 9th, final hole for minamikatsu.
There's Johnny Scott on her bag, a good friend of mine, and he is not only impressed with her game, but
She's got a little shoulder off the front bunker that we'll probably want to kick this one a little left to start with. Just looking for that nice silky smooth stroke again.
And so she'll now wait. That's of 71-72, the par 72. And there's the other EY, akieiwai. Pornanongphatlum at 15 for birdie.
what a putt that was. What a putt. So difficult to read, so difficult to get the pace on it. We've seen so many players three-putt it from there.
Had a runner-up finish at Lytham, where the AIG Women's Open will be later this summer. Lost to Georgia Hall. Minamikatsu was runner-up to Miyuyamashita last year at the AIG, finishing up her second round. Okay, Minami. Pattytavatanakit. This is at the fourth and a par putt.
Just have to watch the speed here.
Vaulted her up in the semi standings. Jinheeim for another birdie, 17. She would tie the lead. Maybe got a bit of a teach from Menno.
Yeah, definitely takes a straight left turn at the very end.
Only made a couple of cuts in her rookie season, but went back to Europe, got her card back at Q Series, and last year 3 top 10s, including at the Chevron Championship, tied for 9th. Chizzy, a 2-putt birdie. And she takes solo second, right behind Young Kim. Both of them won last year, the LPGA Tour. And both have played well this year. Another dazzling day here in Southern California. And we've enjoyed your company and look forward to bringing you coverage on the weekend. That's how the leaderboard looks as we say goodnight from SoCal. And a lot of players in their first or second years on the LPGA Tour. The big chance. Subichaya Winijaitam of Thailand is one of them. Jessicaporvasnik. The rookie Melanie Green is in good position.